Hello, welcome to Eurogamer on YouTube. I'm Bertie, a writer for Eurogamer, and I'm joined here today by Wesley Yin Paul.
Hello, hello.
Today we are looking at Pillars of Eternity, a very popular crowdfunded game made by Obsidian Entertainment, which is now in backer beta. This is not the final game, there's lots of testing being done.
Alert.
And it will change in a similar way to Wasteland 2 changed. This is a nostalgic, old school style RPG, group based, heavy on fantasy, writing, and finally it's here. I'm excited about this game.
Is this the spiritual successor to the Baldur's Gate series?
Yes, and Icewind Dale, those kind of games. So it's party based. You need a party of adventurers around, and it's got nice tinkling music.
Nice L in loading. I'm
good.
Already feeling the fantasy.
What you won't see in this is actually they have interactions in the world which are like choose your own adventure style interactions, and that comes up as just text. You won't see that. You'll just see some adventure.
So what is this, the character creation?
This is character creation, and you can choose quite a lot. The obvious ones: human, dwarf, elf. There's a kind of hobbity nature thing.
What the hell is that thing?
It's godlike. They're amazing. This guy's got a kind of growth on his head that obscures his
like
face.
the cone heads.
I actually picked another character. I'm just showing you the character creation here as a different character, but I picked a godlike for a different character.
Godlike sounds a bit overpowered to me.
They all, all different races get a slight buff. For instance, these guys, the Amauna, get a strength buff. They're like the half-orcs, I guess, in Dungeons and Dragons. So I decided to roll a kind of berserkery one. But what this should show is that there's a lot of choice when you come to make a character. A new type of class there, Cypher, which is my other character, which is kind of slightly necromancer-like. They deal with people's minds, basically, and
is there a flower-picking priest class
there is
that heals everyone and never gets involved in anything?
There is exactly a priest class, although they can swing a weapon as well.
Nah,
get involved.
Overrated.
So yeah, picking a barbarian here, just adjusting my stats.
Nice breathing. Characters always breathe quite heavily, I find, in video games. I don't know if that's to show that they're still alive or what, but they move a lot when they're breathing.
I guess it's their resting animation. They have to.
Why breathe so heavily? I mean, it's just
they exert
rest,
themselves a lot.
Just put their hands by their sides, maybe in their pockets. Just chill out, innit?
Look at those weapons. They look heavy.
Yeah, but it's like he's just run up some flights of stairs or something. This looks really, really in depth.
This is great here. So you can come from a different culture, which also bestows a benefit. So this gives dexterity +1.
Right. What are the cultures?
And they've gone now. We're on to backgrounds already. So backgrounds, cultures. All of this has a bearing on how your character interacts with the world. And a bit of kind of colouring and a bit of customisation here.
Wow, this is one of the most in-depth character creation sheets I've ever seen in a video game. Well, I never played all those old school role-playing games. I mean, I played the original Fallouts a little bit, but you played them all, so I don't know how this compares.
It's more in depth. The culture thing. I think that it all speaks into what Obsidian wanted to do and get back to.
So it's deliberately complicated, essentially.
Adding an extra layer of kind of written complexity, I suppose. You've probably, or you may have read, we've kind of not reviewed, but we've given our impressions from this backer beta already. And the impressions are that the writers are unrestrained and the world is lovely, and you'll see it looks nice and it has a really pleasant ambience as well. It's a real pleasure to be there. The part where the game falls down for me, and we'll see this in a moment, is the combat.
Wow, nice face. There we go, that's more Bertie.
Perfect. And that's the one I choose.
Is it?
So.
Awesome. Yes. Big blue head.
And a character's name, Bertok.
Wow, inspired, Bertie.
Inspired.
Bertok.
Yes.
Well done.
So here we go. This is what it looks like.
Oh, that looks nice.
The backgrounds, the character models aren't. The backgrounds are better than the character models. So when you start the backer beta, and you can't, unless you're a backer, you can't buy into this. It's not available to buy on Steam.
Yet.
They are toying with the idea of an early access. I don't think it's locked in stone. So this is even earlier than early access.
Right, so we've got to forgive it a lot of things, right?
Yeah. So your character portrait, I'm leveling my character up here.
That was quick.
Because it starts you off at level 5, so that you can play around with your skills and abilities. These skills here have an effect in the choose your own adventure. Other things they have an effect but choose your own adventure style sort of cutscenes, interactions that you do. For instance, if you have high athletics, you might be able to push a boulder out of the way.
High athletics?
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm picking some talents here. And again, I mean, icons, user interface, this is the sort of stuff that can change. It's all a bit small.
Those icons, I can barely see them.
Yeah. I mean, there are nice descriptions for things, but like the character health bars and things are all tucked away a little bit in the corner, and particularly in combat, it's really tricky.
So there's some user interface work that needs to be done. That's clear.
And judging by Wasteland 2, which lots was done for that as well, from beta, from early access to full release, which is today. Lots changed there.
When is this supposed to be out?
Well, no, not early. Winter 2014.
Right,
and
I don't know about that.
I met Obsidian at Gamescom. I met Josh Sawyer, the project lead, and Adam Brunecki, the producer. And I asked them, what does that mean? Winter 2014, that seems to suggest December. And they kind of coyly smiled. And perhaps internally, that's maybe their plan. December would be a good month for it. But it seems...
if they're going to go early access, maybe December for early access?
Yeah, I could...
Because Wasteland 2 did December early access last year. And I think a lot of people were sort of at a loose end over Christmas with a lot of time to sink into something like this. That could be
a lot of people.
Me.
I can see them doing that. I think that would make sense. There's no sense for me, perhaps there is for them financially, but there's no sense rushing this kind of thing.
Oh God, no.
So this is
you haven't even moved yet. This is 7 minutes in and you haven't even moved.
This is a slow-paced game. I need to point this out to people. I actually sped up.
Can you move, or do you just stand there breathing the whole time?
I actually sped up some content.
You sped it up?
Not this one.
Oh jeez, what now?
This is my character sheet.
God, I love his face. That is you so much. You just constantly perpetual smiling mental madness. Big
so
blue
he's
head.
only got one talent. So
that's also like you.
Yeah, well, yeah.
There we go.
Hey,
across the bridge.
Ubadi Brooker. So I
just ignore the first guy you see. Oh, that's fine.
For the sake of not standing around too much, I run through some of these dialogues quite quickly. The writing and interaction is a strong point, and the ambience around town. Also, playing with my party formation here.
Wowzers.
But I've been playing this for a few hours already.
I should rename this Party Manager.
Yeah. So I thought I'm pretty confident about what I need to do here.
No name tags though.
Oh yeah. I'll run through this. Talk to this guy about his pigs, which have gone missing, and he thinks an ogre has carried them off. And you can be nice to him. You can see there's different options.
Look at all of that dialogue.
So I thought I'd be aggressive.
Well, you are a blue-headed orc.
Yeah, which it seemed to fit with the character. What shall I do? What shall I do? No option to be mean there. So, yeah, you can talk for a lot longer.
So, is this set on Earth?
A kind of Earth, yeah.
Right.
I don't know what the world's called actually.
Right. So it's just like what, medieval style.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So I walked around this village, and when I spent a bit more time in there with the other character that you'll see, I found out that, and we'll talk to the guy in the inn in a moment, but I found out that his daughter had gone missing or run away. He's trying to find her, and he thinks, she's ill, and he doesn't know what's going on, and doesn't know why she's run away. It turns out she's pregnant. Shh, don't say anything.
Scandal.
So there is quite a lot to delve into around the town. You can talk to different people. Plus this, going to try and find the ogre for this guy we just spoke to. I'm going to not cut some corners, but
wow, they need to improve the loading.
Yeah, the loading.
I know it's a nice L, but this is long, man.
There really is a pleasant atmosphere to the town. It feels. It's a game that takes a long time, and it's a game I would spend a long time in its company as well. It has a pleasant sort of painterly quality about the environment and a tinkling background. It's not urgent and edgy your seat stuff.
No.
Here we go, a bit of Pathfinder issue here. Here we go, let's go. All go. Oh no, not in this one.
That's a massive stove.
Yeah, looks like a huge four-way pizza oven.
Yeah, oh man, that would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Why don't you? I bet no one's invented that. You should invent that.
I don't. Would it still get as hot? Because don't you have to have that closed bit at the back where the heat builds
It's just an idea. I mean, Jesus.
Well, yeah, it doesn't sound like you thought it through.
What's going on?
So this is the noble guy who's causing a stink and being rude, and he's looking for his daughter. So she's the one who had run off because she's pregnant, and that's why she's sick. And she shacked up with the blacksmith up the road. And can't remember what happens next.
Wow, it's like Downton Abbey meets Jerry Springer.
Meets Robin Hood? No.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Meets Robin Hood.
I'm like one of the orcs from Lord of the Rings.
You are. Yeah, but except you're nice and helping people.
Wow.
Are you? You're not nice.
Turns out I'm not.
Are you? Is this game like you can change the game world based on your decisions and all the rest of it, like most of these things?
Yeah. So they said.
Very well.
I'm fairly sure it was them who told me this. That the game is going to have lots of different, lots of endings. There are two kind of proper endings, but lots of incidental effects you can have
based on the decisions you make throughout the game. Right. Okay.
So lots of it is the world reacting to you. So you can spend more time in the town, but I thought, let's get on. And I thought now, because I've been playing for a bit, and the combat is hard to understand at first, because you have, all your characters have got level 5 abilities, and you don't know what they are, you don't know how they're used. I mean, there's obvious things like fireballs, but you can hurt your own party.
What, like Hadoukens?
No, proper fireballs. Proper splash damage, medieval RPG fireballs. Alright, so some beetles. And I'd fought these before, and I thought, all right.
Beetles?
Yeah, well, quite. And I thought, they're quite tough. And it took me a little while. I put it in slow-mo mode there.
The slow-mo mode? What, like the Matrix?
Because what you can see here, something that bugs me, inappropriate pun, is that, so you press spacebar to pause, you press S to slow the game. But the default setting is fast. But you would never fight any of the encounters in fast mode.
Well, you're just crap. So maybe you would.
Watch how this is.
What are you doing?
This is normal difficulty. So I'm setting up. This is my wizard here, okay, who's running over something that's like.
What was that?
Don't know. Well, noxious fumes. Here we go. Fireball. Now he has to wait though, and you can see just by the little gems which are his health here. There's a bar which goes down, and it's so tiny. But that's the waiting for him to take his next action. Cone
AOE,
fire.
Quick, AOE, run away.
There's his stamina going down. When his stamina goes down, he's knocked out. If the green bar, which is his health, goes down, then he's dead, and he's actually dead.
Yes.
Right, that was good.
So I thought,
can't help but feel the others aren't really pulling their weight here.
No, and I thought, right, I better get.
So it's real time.
Yeah, it's called real time with pause.
Real time with pause.
I don't know. Given that you have to stop the combat.
Wow, you these beetles are creaming you.
So, rage quit.
Nah.
Right.
Beetles, bust your ass.
Like, I sped this up, okay, because I wanted to show that this game can be brutal. You have to manage each part of what your people do, and I'm fine with that. But it's laborious and it takes a lot of time. And why didn't they just go turn-based?
Why didn't you not rush your wizard right into the pack of beetles?
Well, some would argue that was a problem. Yeah, here I go, smashing down. I've got my Cypher here. He's the guy with the glowing weapon, which is his soul whip, which kind of restores his focus.
Is it like established party-based mechanics where you have a tank, you have ranged DPS, and you have someone who heals, like a roguey, backstabby person? Is it like...
Yes, although, look, as you can see here, look, my guys are getting shot by some arrow that's depleting my health. Deep Wounds, I think it's called. And it's absolutely, this is one archer, and he's absolutely just creamed my entire party. So my dwarf...
Wow. You, you know, I don't want to be rude, but are you playing the game right?
Well, not as well as I could be, and I did play this fight afterwards. I don't know if we'll see it. I don't know if I included it in the video. We'll see. Where I creamed this person.
So where are you? What? You're in a cave or something?
Yeah, I went down into a thing. I had to push the statue out of the way. But look, there, dead again. Okay, you're not going to see that fight again. We're going to see a different one where the battle goes better.
Yes.
This is more towards what I'm supposed to be doing.
Is it the case that you're fighting stuff too high level for your
Well,
party?
maybe.
Oh my god, a giant spider in a role-playing game, I'd never have guessed.
Maybe in that area. Okay, so here I thought, right, let's set it up a bit better. Yeah, it could have been. Right, so I'll talk you through it. So this is my wizard. So he's got 3 spell schools. I'm going for a web to, appropriately, to slow them down a bit so they don't charge me quite so quickly. And then I thought, right, I'm going to my cipher. I'm going to use his kind of mind blast. Not going to do that. I'm going to use my priest, which has got a kind of, this will daze everyone in this area. So those 2 things done. Pause. It's like, just do turn-based. Right, now I've got my guy. I should have just kept his weapon on, but I thought I'll go for his crossbow. He can get a bit of range damage in before they get close here. But they close the gap quite quickly.
Well, they're massive spiders.
Yeah. So he's going to use some noxious fumes there. That's my cipher guy. And then my wizard, get him back involved. What's he going to do? Fireball. Classic. I think it might even miss. Doesn't matter. Right, so here they go. He's winding up his crossbow bolt. There's the fireball. Didn't do a thing, I don't think. This is my rogue, who's got some crippling strike. Back onto my priest, who's going to do that. That's a glyph of like repulsion or something that's going to help stop them getting so close to me. So there's a fireball again, apparently.
Something fell on your head.
Yeah, don't know who did that. There's a petrified. I think that comes from. Alright, so they've closed down my wizard, which is not good. So my tank didn't really do a very good job there. They just walked past him. My wizard's using. My cleric's taking. Priest is taking damage here. So my cipher now is going to charm the spider closest, which is quite a good move because then it gets it out of the way.
This looks like you have to think really deeply about every single encounter.
Yeah, that's the thing, and the big issue with that is I don't mind doing that as long as there's a reward for an encounter, which either is in loot and normally is an experience, but you don't get any experience for killing monsters.
Wow.
In this game.
That's different.
So the battles are laborious and difficult, but there's no reward.
So why?
Well, I think the reward is to make. The idea is to make the game more of a, more focused on story and exploration. But then don't put so much combat in. Don't make it so hard. I really want them to put experience in for fighting monsters.
Maybe they will.
And they are open. I should say they want feedback from this. This is the whole point of it.
Yes.
They're making a game for their backers, and the backers now can play it. And tell them what they want. I mean, they wanted to make it close to Dungeons and Dragons, and the idea of having, a dungeon master and a bit more free-form storytelling stuff. All right, so I'm doing quite well here. I've killed a few of them. Now we all gang up.
Very well.
Turns out I can do a lot more damage to these. It's getting a bit buggy at this point in the game. You can see under the cipher character, he's got like the horns on his head. That's his sort of headmaster. He's got his shield and he just kind of dragging along by his feet, and the spider didn't die particularly quickly. Yeah, and I can't move him. I have to go into my inventory to move him along.
Well, like we said, this isn't even beta yet, right? So
yeah, quite.
There's a lot of work to be done.
And what's lovely as well is that the cipher character I like barbarians, but compared to the cipher character, is far more interesting. He has a whole load of spells based around manipulating someone's mind, even making them be terrified of things, or making their mind blow up, and then hurt people behind them. Lots of situational stuff. It's complicated, which is good. I like complicated spells, and the barbarian didn't have much. So
what is this?
This is the ogre.
Oh, this is the boss.
So, and this is what's interesting about that. So I'm looking for a young noblewoman, and a farmer, claims you ate her pigs. His pigs.
Jerry.
Okay, so I mean, it shapes up like a typical battle, and you can fight this guy because when I saw the guys at Gamescom, they did fight the ogre. But I'm suggesting he moves on to a different village, and I don't have the right speech requirement things there to really help. But I'm going to suggest that he can go to. There's another town further along. I think. Do I choose that one? Oh no. I say someone else is going to come and kill you.
Wow.
And then I'm cruel, and I pick the cruel one and say the town I came from can be safe for you. You just need to go and kill the farmer who put a bounty on your head.
Oh my gosh.
So that's sorted.
What are you doing?
I didn't even have to kill him.
You're a monster.
Alright, so that was that quest completed, and I got a level up from that. But I wanted to show you something else. You can see there's pluses by their names. But it's all too small down in the corner there. They need to beef that up, make it a bit more clear. I wanted to show you an option in the game for big heads. And look, thanks Josh. That must be, Josh Sawyer. So I found this and I thought, I've got to show you it because it looks ridiculous. So now they've all got big heads.
That's brilliant.
And I wanted
They look like bobbleheads now.
They do. I quite like it.
Yeah. That is funny. Is that just like...
It's just
is that a backer thing, or is that just like... Is that going to be in the final game?
I'm not sure what the origins of it are. I wanted to show you just a bit, I wanted to show you a bit of levelling up. So this is...
I'm kind of getting distracted by the massive...
This is my cipher. Because there are various... I want to show you some of the options you have available. So there's some of the spells, like Secret Horrors, make enemies believe their worst fears. Destroy a target's psychic defences by leaving them dominated. Links creatures to the cipher mentally. The cipher has some interesting abilities. I can't remember what I picked. But you can see the spell scores go up to 6, I think it says, over there.
Okay. Is it also an issue, do you think, that because you start the game like sink or swim, you haven't had the benefit of the first 5 levels?
Yeah, absolutely.
That you haven't learned exactly how the game works, so perhaps you're missing some key information or whatever. Absolutely.
There's also the relationship between what your spells say they do and then what you see them do on screen, for instance. It's just like is it another fireball or something, or it's just something that attacks their head. It's like it's a flashy spell description, but
maybe part of the fun of the game is working out what things happen in the field versus how they're described. That is so funny. I'm glad they put that in there.
Oh, this one's missing an invisible dwarf. Can't see him.
Can't say that.
But this is what he has. I mean, the inventory and those icons. They have to be bigger for me. Bigger and clearer.
Well, it looks really old school to me, and I guess that is the point, right? So at least they're tapping into that nostalgia for
that is the point.
Those games, right? So
the best examples of games that have a nostalgic twinge about them are the ones that have the nostalgia but also update it with
agreed
with up to date just showing you a bit of levelling up here, so you get to see. And we don't get any choice over your party members earlier, but none of these party members are going to be in the full game instantly.
Right, so they're placeholder as well. I think this game feels quite far off. Like, I don't know where it's at right now, versus the build that they've got available to backers, but it feels to me like Christmas might be a bit ambitious.
I think so. I'm happy for it to wait. I'm personally excited about this game, but as it stands, combat is too fiddly.
That is terrifying. That is an actual nightmare. What the hell is that anyway?
It's kind of wood elf type.
Wow. Can you imagine waking up and that stood over your bed?
No.
That's every morning for you, isn't it?
Yeah. I want combat to be more coherent. clearer. I'd rather it was turn-based. You know, I'd rather there was an option just to turn on a turn-based kind of.
It's just too hard for you. Is what you're saying, isn't it?
Well, I was getting better at it. It's fine, but you know, I'm never really going to have combat play out in real time, and I can't imagine anyone else will.
What the heck?
So I'd like to see them do a lot of work there and bring experience in for combat.
You just like all getting rewards for everything. This is old school, Bertie.
Hey, I killed a spider queen. After this, I went up and killed a spider queen, and I got nothing for it.
Well, you know, you're just like the I want generation. It's all
It's
all about you.
Instant gratification.
It's me. You need something for everything. You know?
Yeah, I got bored after 5 minutes.
Bigger picture. You know?
I want Facebook integration.
You don't have to go. You don't have to. It's not always about you.
I want tweets. So I think we're coming to the end of it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks, Wesley, for joining me.
You're welcome.
There will be more videos like this on the Eurogamer channel. You don't have to watch them. It'd be nice.
Hopefully more big heads.
Yeah, more big heads, like mine. So yeah, this is a way off. But thanks, and we'll speak at you soon.
Bye.